What up, friends? We are not going to have a normal intro for this episode like we usually do, because this was our episode that we had at the live show that was back in January.
Yep.
So
January 30th.
I'm still living that high a little bit.
We are riding that high out. It was such a great night.
It was. But, you know, whatever. So this is the same case. If you were at the live show and you heard this already, you should listen to it again, because I'm adding videos of like interrogations and some other stuff that I mentioned, but I'm finally adding it because I couldn't do it at the live show. So
there's some new things you're going to want to hear.
And we have ADHD. I blacked out for the majority of that live show, I'm not going to lie to you. So things might be said different. Other things might be brought up that
we might have new thoughts and theories because we're not sitting on a stage in front of all of you.
Precisely. So you should listen to it. With that being said, welcome back to another episode of Justice 4. We are your host.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sam.
And we were going to try to do this without the cat. Here we are.
I am going to give another quick disclaimer, just like I did at the show. This specific episode does deal with the death of children who are under the age of 12. If you have a problem with it, I can put a quick little thing when I go into detail. I don't go into too much detail, like nothing's gory by any means, but I know some people have a hard time with that. Just a quick heads up. Also, quick shameless plug, please follow us everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, all of our socials. Just4podcast.com is where you can find all of that as well as all of our episodes, merch, case
submissions.
That word.
And make sure that you are followed or subscribed. Click that little plus button or subscribe button, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen, so you don't miss any of our updates. Sometimes we do throw out a random bonus episode. We do have season 3 coming up and another live show that we're in the talks about. We don't have a location yet, but when we do, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
And so you just want to make sure you're following us on everything so you don't miss anything.
Yeah. All right. So, are you ready again?
Oh, I'm ready again.
If you know me, you know there's one case besides Gannon that I got a little too close to. I let it consume me to the point that I have books about it. I have watched every video that I can find on this case. I also made my husband watch a documentary on it when we were supposed to be having like a romantic weekend getaway in Estes Park.
But like true crime documentaries are romantic for me, so...
Same. He did not like it though. He was not a fan. Whatever. I know almost every detail about this case inside and out. Christopher Lee Watts.
She lies to you.
I did. Don't worry.
She lies to you. She lies.
I am not going to talk to you about Chris Watts.
I guessed Chris Watts like 3 times, and I was like, that's not it. She would not be doing Chris Watts for a live show. And
yeah. I also gave her a year. I told her it was in Illinois. Like, I told her details, very minuscule
but like
details.
you said a second ago, you blacked out.
I did.
In that moment, I blacked out. And I hope someone has a video, because I came to within about 5 to 6 seconds and realized she was lying.
I was lying.
But, like, I blacked out for a moment. I was so excited. I jumped up. I mean, I was with y'all. So I hope we have a video of that somewhere.
I hope so. I also very much remember seeing Drea and Danny's faces, because they were so pumped. Because of the reactions from me saying his name, we're going to have to do something.
It's not going to be a normal deep dive episode, because there's enough of those out there.
Oh my
but
gosh.
We have maybe like a little mini episode series in thought. Something.
It's in the works. It's in talks.
You're going to get something.
Yeah. But with that, I'm not going to talk about Chris Watts, y'all. We would be here the rest of the week. Let's be real.
I don't have that kind of time today.
Same. I got shit to do. But I had you there for a minute, didn't I? I mean, kind of. However, you might end up hating me by the end of this episode. Just stick with me.
You will, but it is one of my favorite episodes.
It's a good one.
Or not favorite episodes. It's one of my favorite cases.
Yeah.
It's... I will tell you, because I didn't say this at the live.
Yeah.
I will tell you, this episode, there's a few episodes where, well, now that we're covering it, a few cases, that now that we've covered it, like, that name is just seared into my brain, so I'll recognize these names. But there are a few that I've heard on major ones that once we get to a certain part or a key, I remember it.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Absolutely.
it's like, yeah, Ellen Greenberg, until I really, like, the first couple times that I had heard of hers, like, years ago, it was always him working out of the gym and coming home that did it for me. This one, it's also gym related, but it's
Yeah.
the part that gets me. As soon as I realized what we were talking about, I was so excited because me and my older sister obsess over this whenever we hear it in any of the podcasts we listen to.
Mine was when they see the writing on the wall, and that's when it clicks for me.
Mine's
And I'm like, oh,
Mine is the emails and the main name you're going to say here in a minute.
yep, don't you guys worry, we're getting into it.
All right, let's get into it because
However-
I'm excited.
Chris Watts was not the first dumb motherfucker who killed his family and tried to get away with it. Before Chris Watts showed up on the news, there was Chris Coleman. This is one of those cases that messes with you, not because it's confusing or layered with thousands of suspects. It's because it's painfully straightforward, and the straightforward ones are sometimes the hardest to, accept. From the outside, the story almost looks simple. A husband, a wife, 2 kids in a quiet town, and a horrific outcome. But the more you sit with it, the more unsettling it becomes, because everything about this case points back to the same uncomfortable truth. The danger was not coming from outside the house. This case takes place in Columbia, Illinois, a small town where people know their neighbors, and a violent crime isn't something that residents expect to brush up against. Columbia is a farming town about 12 miles north of St. Louis, Missouri, and had a population of 11,000 in the 2020 census.
Okay.
This is really, this town, there's not really a lot going on. So, unfortunately, what I'm about to tell you is maybe the biggest thing that ever happened there.
I hate when that happens to small
know.
towns. It's so unfortunate when they're just, marked by one tragedy.
Yeah. And it's, of course, always going to be the bad that you remember.
Yes.
Well, like they say, one bad apple ruins the bunch.
Yes.
Which is unfortunately true. So we are going to be in 2009 for all of this. And oh, what a year was 2009.
2009 was a great year.
I agree.
I graduated high school.
I was still in high school. One more year.
That's unfortunate. Oh my god, you were the class we made fun of. What are you guys going to be, the class of 10?
Yeah,
Just
I had
10?
Yeah, it was fantastic. 2010. At least we had the last good classes also.
We had the last good classes.
Yours were both in the middle. At least mine was still a little off.
2009.
We were the last ones that could do it until 2020. How about that, bitch?
There you go. There you go.
So, 2009, Obama became the 44th president. Michael Jackson sadly lost his life. The H1N1 pandemic hit, so the swine flu.
I yelled bird flu at the live.
Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was released in theaters.
Banger.
I Dreamed a Dream by Susan Boyle was the best-selling album globally.
I think that's one of the, you just forgot about that whole time period.
I wonder what she's doing with her life.
I do too.
She was so big in that moment,
She was
too.
so
It was
big.
crazy.
It was kind of insane.
And, of course, this wouldn't be a Sam episode without me mentioning sports. Specifically, the Pittsburgh Steelers won their 6th Super Bowl in 2009. You're welcome. Ugh, that was also the last time I won. Shut up. Today's story surrounds the Coleman family. Let me tell you about them.
Please do.
Christopher Coleman, who goes by Chris, was born in 1977 to Ron and Connie Coleman, who were both Christian evangelical pastors. Chris was one of 3 boys. Poor Connie.
Yeah.
I always wanted just boys, though. I don't have any kids, but I would want all boys.
Mike says that I willed Nicole to be a girl because I wanted one so bad. Girls don't run in his family.
Oh, period.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to know what to do with a boy. No, thank you.
We love your daughter, though. I mean, hopefully. No, I'm just kidding. Growing up, the Coleman kids spoke in tongues and made important decisions based on quotes from scripture. His family and friends said he was very quiet and reserved. They also described him as a team player, and he never lost his temper. His mother said that the worst curse word Chris ever said was piss. And she actually spelled it out. She didn't actually say it out loud. She said P-I-S-S. He said piss.
So you're just going to skip past that like you didn't just say what you said?
They
grew up speaking in tongues?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. In high school, a U.S. Marine Corps recruiter came to Chris's class, and he was just enamored with this guy and how he carried himself, so on. So he ended up joining the Marines as soon as he graduated, and he became an MP. An MP, if you do not know what it is a military police officer. At 22, he attended a canine training seminar at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. And this is where he met 21-year-old Sheri Weiss. She was an MP also at the Air Force Base. They basically fell in love at first sight and started dating. Sheri was also born in 1977 to Angela DeSicco. And Dan, I think I said it wrong. It's, no, it is Weiss. I said it right.
Weiss, yeah.
Weiss. And she also grew up in Illinois, which is pretty awesome.
Okay, so they had a lot in common.
Yeah. She had a brother named Mario and many friends, including childhood friend Tara Lentz. In 1997, 3 months after they had met, August of 1997, Chris took Sheri home to meet his parents, who, like I said, were very Christian. They were very much not impressed by her, and Ron even said, quote, "She was a worldly little girl, little short shorts, tattoo on her leg, not the person we thought he'd be with," end quote.
Way to be judgy.
Right? Why are you talking?
Like, they're grown adults, like, they are in their 20s. She's an MP. She is in the Marines?
Air Force.
Air Force?
She's Air Force.
She's Air Force, he's Marines, right? Mm-hmm. She is literally in the Air Force. Mm-hmm. And an MP, and like doing the same job that their son is, but yet somehow she's not good enough because she has a tattoo on her leg.
I don't think someone that has a tattoo on their legs is something you need to be worrying about, especially not talking about her shorts. You sick ass.
Right? Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
It's not your kid. Anyway, it's just weird. I don't like it. I dated guys whose parents judged me like that, and it was just not fun because like you can just see it from the time you meet them.
Yeah.
And like I legit had a boyfriend's mom tell me that straight up told me that I should not be dating her son because I was not the kind of woman that she could see having her grandchildren one day.
I feel like you told me about this. Weren't you a teenager?
It was like right after high school. Yeah, like legit was. It was like,
all right, man.
Yeah, like.
There's like, what if you end up working out with this person and like there's
By
always
the way,
going to be
I
this
had one
contention.
little hip tattoo. I didn't even have my sleeves yet. I didn't even have tattoos on my arms.
Dude, we're going to hell.
In a handbasket.
We are less likely to be kidnapped and eaten by serial killers, though. So
yeah, cannibals don't like tattoos. They
taste funny.
Make you taste funny.
Thank you, Jeffrey Dahmer, for that.
And also, you're less likely to get get kidnapped with a lot of tattoos because you're too identifiable.
You're welcome, Mom.
You're welcome.
So, the very next day after meeting the parents, Chris and Sheri decide to head over to the state of Chicago.
The state of Chicago. Okay, so we heard some things at the live of people not understanding. If you didn't listen to a few episodes ago, up until I was 13, I thought Chicago was the state, not Illinois. Sam very much enjoys this joke. We made a joke about it in one episode, and we kept saying it the night at the live, so we should probably clarify that before we move further.
Sorry.
I
promise I'm not dumb. I promise I'm not. I know my states. Sorry,
We're
Jackie.
just making fun of Jackie. Since I was 13, I know it's the state of Illinois, but it's just really funny.
It is really funny, and I'm always going to bully my friends. I'm just going to be real with you.
Yeah, we like to bully each other. It's fine. So
Again,
the state of Chicago.
I don't light up rooms. I darken doorways.
Yes. Yes, you do.
With bullying. You're not a true friend if you don't bully each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, they decided to head over to Chicago, and they actually eloped. Chris's parents said this to the St. Louis Magazine. Quote, "The next morning the phone rang. His first words were, 'Dad, you'll never believe what we did. We got married.' I was quiet. Chris said, 'Dad, you don't seem excited.' I said, 'Give me a few minutes.'" I'm still going. Hold on. Chris realized right away that the marriage had been ungodly. My gosh, he was raised in a church. He was repentant and broken over it. He said, "Oh, I just got caught up in the moment." We said, "We'll see. It's a lifetime." End quote.
What dicks.
Right? Ugh.
Like, just be happy for your kid.
Right?
Just be happy for your kid.
But she had a leg tattoo, Jackie.
And wore short shorts.
Ugh.
And was worldly.
Then, after they got married and the families were told about them getting married, it came out that Sheri was pregnant. Please feel free to assume all you want.
A child out of wedlock?
So then, in 1998, they welcomed their first son, Garett. And then in 2000, they then welcomed their second son, Gavin.
They're so cute.
They are so freaking cute.
Stinking cute.
Like, oh my gosh, they're adorable.
They really are.
You guys know what kind of podcast we are. If they would have grown, like, been able to grow up, they would be so fucking handsome.
They really would be. But also, in some of the pictures, you can tell that they gave Sheri a run for her money. You could see that they were good kids, but you could see they could be a little mischievous when they put those minds together. There's that one picture you showed of them just like being goofy, and I was like,
with their mom,
yeah, with their mom, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally tell what kind of shenanigans were going on in this house.
Mm-hmm. So, as soon as the kids were born, they both ended up getting out of the military and settled in Colombia in a beautiful home with a basement and a huge yard. And this house was about an hour away from Chris's parents' home. Chris then landed a job as security with Joyce Meyer's ministry. Joyce and her family actually knew the Colemans. Chris quickly got promoted from just like a security guy to head of security, and then turned into Joyce's personal bodyguard, earning $100,000 a year.
Like, that's crazy. The amount of money he earned being a bodyguard for a mega church.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to get crazier the more you hear about his job. But it's just that no matter how many times I hear that number, it's mind-blowing to me. It's also mind-blowing, like, how quickly he got promoted.
Oh my gosh,
like, within her and everything.
Yeah. It's technically not nepotism, but it's kind of nepotism.
Yeah.
Since they
knew and he had the insight and the growing up. Yeah, I mean, I can see how he moved quickly, but it's just...
But at the same time, if you're doing a good fucking job, you earn that shit.
True.
I don't know. It probably helps that he had an MP background and everything. I get it.
Okay, the Marine background, the MP, that also does help you climb the ranks, having the personal contact. But it's still, not just still a crazy number for a bodyguard, or head of security, 2009, and a mega church.
Mm-hmm. So also, if you don't know who Joyce Myers is, let me tell you about her. Joyce Myers is a well-known Christian speaker and author who runs a massive ministry near St. Louis. She has TV shows, radio shows, conferences, and best-selling books that have reached millions of people worldwide.
It's really funny because I've never heard of her outside of this case.
Same.
Ever. I have never heard of her outside of being related to this case.
Jackie, we're ungodly.
We probably are.
We have tattoos, we are.
We also
wear
do
shorts. Period. If you guys heard some of the jokes I already cracked, you would understand. She is also known for teaching faith in a very practical, everyday kind of way. So when I say Chris Coleman worked as head of security for Joyce Meyer's ministry, again, that's not a small church. Like she said, it's a mega church. It's a high trust position inside of a very big and very visible organization. So with this position, he was definitely traveling a lot more, which ended up creating a lot of conflict between him and Sheri. Sheri was also working a bit and would take care of the boys when they weren't in school, especially since Chris was gone so much.
And he made so much that in 2009 they were living comfortably in Illinois.
Yeah, like this house is a big house.
Yeah.
And they're not far from Chicago by any means.
And I mean, in 2009, and for what he's making and doing, obviously we're surviving the recession pretty well. And
yeah. So according to Chris, Sheri really loved to shop and donate to charities.
Maybe we're not surviving the recession so well.
And since he was the breadwinner of the house, that created a lot of conflict and contention between them, like a lot of arguments about money.
Totally forgot about that part.
One time after they had done the deed,
I hate when you say it like that.
You want me to say they had sex? They fornicated?
Nope, we're going to go back to doing the deed. I apologize to all of you for that. Sorry. It was just fine.
Which apparently hardly actually ever happened between the two of them. They did not do the deed frequently, Jackie.
Well, he was traveling all the time. And it's only to make a baby.
Yeah. Sheri talked to one of her friends about something that Chris said to her after they were done. Quote, "This doesn't mean that I love you." End quote.
What the fuck?
How caustic of him.
I was about to make a missionary position joke. And then you hit me with that. I was about to be like, well, no.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Yeah. But she...
It doesn't mean I love you.
This doesn't mean I love you.
That's not very godly of him.
What would the church say, Chris? But Sheri wanted to make her marriage work. She, I think I mentioned this later. Oh, I mentioned it way later. She actually, after they got married and had their kids and stuff, she became born again.
Yes.
She became very into the church. Like, she adapted this lifestyle that he also had. So it's not like she was this awful, terrible harlot of sorts.
No.
So.
And yeah,
whatever.
so it's very interesting, his whole stance on her.
Yeah, for sure. So then in 2009, things seemed to take a turn for the worst. Chris told his friends that he wanted to divorce Sheri after the holidays. Around the same time, Sheri told friends that she was suspecting that Chris was having an affair, but she had a feeling she knew who the person was. I'm going to come back to this part, though. Pin that shit.
Like, that's crazy to, like, assume your husband's having an affair and then also, like, think you have an idea of who he's having an affair with.
She also pulled up this
Spoiler
person...
alert, it's not Joyce Myers, guys.
It's not Joyce.
That's not who we were suspecting. Spoiler alert.
She also pulled up this person's Facebook for some of her other friends and was like, it's her.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say that earlier.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued.
Missy. So then...
So this was... Hold on, just really quick. This is December 2009, right?
No. No.
What year are we in?
We're in 2008, so it's like... It's not December.
Is it like November?
It's just... So I'm just about to get to November.
Okay.
So it's around that time.
We're like holiday times, fall.
I'm thinking like fall of 2008.
Like September,
2008.
October. Maybe
Yes,
more towards like
that's what I'm
October.
thinking.
Okay, October 2008. I was just wanting to make sure. The years are important later. I just wanted to start it now.
Years aren't important.
Well, months
are.
in the year. Well,
this currently is
Yes.
not that important. However, now it's going to be. So then, in November of 2008, Chris started receiving emails from an email address named Fuck Chris. And the email was destroychris@gmail.com.
I mean, way to be direct.
Here's
Get to the point.
Yeah. Crazy.
We're not going to sugarcoat here.
Here's an email that they received on November 14th of 2008. The subject said, "Fuck Chris's family, they are dead!" Exclamation.
What the fuck?
Please note that this email was also sent to multiple people in his company, including Joyce Myers.
Not just him?
Yes, it was sent to multiple people.
Okay.
Quote, "Tell Joyce to stop preaching the bullshit or Chris's family will die. If I can't get to Joyce, then I'll get to someone close to her. And if I can't get to him, then I'll kill his wife and kids. I know Joyce's schedule, so then I know Chris's schedule. I know where he lives. I know when they are alone."
Once again, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, I like how we're threatening Joyce. We want Joyce to stop preaching, but all the threats are going to Chris and his family, but we're
Yeah.
not threatening to hurt Joyce. We only, kind of threaten her.
He's also her personal security guard, so, obviously you can get to him to get to her.
But, why is his family involved in this?
Because if he can't get to them, he can get to his family.
So we have all over the place rage. Okay.
Pretty much. There was multiple emails after this as well, but the final message came on April 27th of 2009. So
How many emails were there in total?
There was a handful.
I like from hearing this other, there's a good amount.
There's a good amount, but I can't tell you the exact number, but I know there was a few.
Yes.
The final message, though, came on April 27th of 2009 and was actually delivered to their mailbox.
Oh, so we left email and went straight to, "I know where you live, and let me put this in your face a little bit more."
Precisely.
So we have November to April is when these emails were going on.
Correct.
Okay, so we're
Here-
spread out over a few months.
6.
6 months.
6, 4, 7,
Yeah.
6. Math is hard.
Math is hard.
6 months. So this is what the final message said. Quote, I am giving you the last warning. You have not listened to me and you have not changed your ways. I have warned you to stop traveling and to stop carrying on with this fake religious life of stealing people's money. Stop today or else. I know your schedule. You can't hide from me ever. I'm always watching. This is my last warning. Your worst nightmare is about to happen. End quote.
Okay. I mean, we're very direct and laid it out. There's nothing to read between the lines on there.
So Chris told his neighbor about these emails he was getting in the message. The neighbor happened to be a detective. His name, is Detective Sergeant Justin Barlow. So the detective put a security camera in his house. Like, I think it was in his son's bedroom window, because it's the one that faced that way.
Yeah.
And pointed it so it faced the Coleman's driveway and mailbox.
Okay.
And of course, it happened after this last message.
After it was put in the mailbox, not like before.
Correct.
I also think it's really weird that he knew his neighbor was a detective, and this is when he decides to, like, alert him into this.
I know.
Did he have, like, involve the police and stuff, or did the ministry involve the police in, like, these 6 months to, like, investigate these emails, or?
No. But Sheri very specifically went to Joyce Ministries and was like, hello? The fuck? Are you going to do anything about this?
Well, I also know, like, mega churches, they're a big organization. There's a lot of people against them. They probably get threats like this all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
And since they weren't, as shitty as this sounds, since they were not directly threatening Joyce herself the way that they were threatening Chris, I feel like it probably wasn't, like, they weren't too worried about it.
Maybe.
As much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
We're going to talk about this a little bit more later, so
okay, just
we'll touch back on
got
this.
you.
So Detective Barlow, they finally got some police cruisers patrolling the area frequently just to be safe. They took reports. Neighbors were even made aware. Like, the idea of someone, like, there might be a stalker floating around, like, in the area finally became part of background noise of daily life. Then on May 4th, Garett, their oldest son, was supposed to spend the night at another neighbor's kid. Their birthdays were only a few days apart.
Yeah.
And it was a tradition for them to spend every birthday together.
Yeah, I had a friend like that growing up. Like, my
Same.
best friend from kindergarten, her birthday's in December, and no matter what day of the week it was,
Yes.
school day, whatever, we always, because she was a twin, so I always spent the night at her house. Our birthdays were almost always spent together.
I get it.
I was an August baby. Like,
Ashley Cook, I know you listen. That was me and you, girl.
Caitlin, me and you. Oh, yeah, all the time.
I don't know her. I don't know you in person, but I know your name.
Because I talk about you all the time.
You do.
But yeah. So, like, I totally understand that. Like, there are friends that, like, we were so inseparable as kids that it doesn't matter if your birthday's on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm staying the night and going to school in the morning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But of course, Garett being the good kid he is, he went and asked Chris if he was able, like, you still have to ask permission. I hate to say it. As kids, you still have to ask permission.
And this is 2009. This is, think of the kind of household they were raised in.
Correct.
And, like, even in my, like...
And it was a Wednesday, or it was a two...
They were in what, elementary school?
He was... Oh my gosh, why can't I think how old he was?
Like, he was, like, 5th grade.
11.
Yeah, like,
He was
5th,
11.
6th grade, depending on
11. So
birthday
he would have
and
been 5th grade.
5th or 6th grade, just depends.
Something like that.
He is still living in the times of, okay, if you go ask my mom and I'll go ask my dad, and then, or we'll call and we'll put our parents on the phone with each other. We are still in those times. So, yeah.
But also think about it. Yes, the kind of household he was raised in, but his dad's also, he was a police officer. Like, he probably has strict rules in the
About
house.
spending the night, but they've
Correct.
always done this, so...
It's a tradition. But he
You
went...
still have to ask, you can't assume.
Correct. He went, he asked his dad, and Chris said, no, you need to be home tonight.
But that's weird.
I know, especially because it's their tradition for
And they
the
do it-
past every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
Okay.
And it's also, it's not like you're going across town. It's a neighbor like 3 houses down.
Yeah.
Like, it's right there. Whatever. So then, on the morning of May 5th, Chris woke up early and left to go to the gym across the river in St. Louis at 5:43 a.m. Please keep this time in your cabeza. As he was heading home, he called the detective that lived across the street from him at 6:42 a.m. and asked him to go to his house and check on his family because he had not heard from Sheri all morning, and he was worried.
You mean for an hour?
For an hour and 1 minute. No, not even. 59 minutes.
And, like, there's 2 kids at home to get up and get ready for school and breakfast and everything else.
Yeah.
And we weren't all attached to our phones in 2009 the way we are now.
Correct. He said she wasn't responding to any of his calls or texts, and that just wasn't like her. Quote, "My wife's not answering the phone. I need you to check on her and the kids. I'm on the JV bridge. I'll be there in about 5 minutes." End quote.
And what time was that at?
6:42.
Okay.
Detective Barlow called other officers just to come by because he was not uniformed up, anything like that. He tried knocking and calling for Sheri with no answer. As the other officer arrived, they walked around the house and saw there was a window open on the back of the house and the screen was out. Chris pulled into the driveway at 6:56 a.m.
That's over 10 minutes. That's not 5 minutes away.
That was
11 minutes?
14.
14 minutes?
14 minutes. I think they counted as 13 minutes later.
Is Chris one of those I'm almost there guys, but he's like sitting in his driveway still? I think he is.
I don't know. So when he pulls up into the driveway at 6:56 a.m., they asked him to stay outside while they searched the house. They called for more backup just to be safe. The uniformed officer went into the house while Detective Barlow followed. Guns drawn, and they were smacked in the face with the overwhelming smell of spray paint. As they moved through the house, they noticed that there were red spray-painted words all along the walls. Some of them said, "Fuck you, I'm always watching. Fuck you, bitch, you have paid. Punished." Those were just some of the sayings among the many that were spray-painted on the walls. As they moved into the master bedroom, they find 31-year-old Sheri Coleman lying on her bed, dead, naked, and with lacerations on her neck, consistent of strangulation with a cord or rope. Then they moved to the boys' room, where they found 11-year-old Garett curled up on his bed under his blankets that were also spray painted. And 9-year-old Gavin was found face down on his bed under his blankets that were also spray painted. Both boys had lacerations on their neck that were consistent with strangulation of a cord or rope. Before the police came out to tell Chris the fate of his family, Detective Barlow told the officers to not tell Chris much. Quote, "This might be our guy. Limit what you tell him." End quote.
So, one thing that I'm, that I wasn't realizing at the live. So, like, he called a neighbor, which is the detective, and he immediately called for more officers.
He did.
Before even going over there. So, I'm curious if Barlow was, like, suspicious of Chris earlier on than putting up that camera, or if he just, like, I'm in between him being suspicious of Chris before he even, when he calls for backup, or if he is just very cautious of the situation that he knows is already playing out, and Chris is worried enough to call him that he just decided to get backup out there before anything else and make sure this is done right.
So, something I actually did not mention until later, which I probably should have mentioned earlier, as soon as Chris hung up with Detective Barlow, he called the police, like, he called 911.
Chris did, or
Chris
Barlow?
did.
Oh, Chris did. Okay.
Chris did. So, I mean, obviously, Barlow was like, "Hey, man, this is what's up." But Chris called the cops saying, "My wife, my kids, they're not answering. Help me." Kind of situation.
Yeah.
Even
So,
though he
okay, so now we
already
have,
had
like-
someone going over there.
Yeah. Okay, so we have double going over there, which is why we had more and more backup, but... Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I know why he did.
I know why he did as well. It's just very interesting. I didn't catch on to the fact that that Barlow was so tuned in from the second Chris called him. And I thought it was more so because he had the camera up watching because they thought there was someone stalking the family. And now I feel like I'm leaning more towards he was suspicious of Chris himself.
I think he was suspicious before the murders actually took place.
Yes.
But we don't know that for sure. That we are just
Also, he could just be a
speculating
hell of a good detective who wanted to cover his ass knowing that the
Yeah.
family had been getting these threatening messages enough to put the camera up that he wanted to make sure from the second someone stepped foot in that house,
Yeah.
it was done by the book and correctly and everything could be used. And him going in as an off-duty officer, especially with this letter being delivered to the house, his camera going up after, he could very well have just been covering his own ass.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Again, statistics are a statistic for a reason.
Yes, I feel like, yeah, so I don't know. I really like the neighbor. I really like him a lot. He very much made sure that this was
Yeah. I feel
done right.
I feel like all of the police did.
Yeah.
They all did a very good job with this. So, Detective Barlow then proceeded to go to Chris and say, they didn't make it. That was it. That's all that was said to him. They didn't make it. Chris just sat on the curb.
Which is so weird because, like, he didn't even know that they were in trouble. He just says they didn't make it.
They didn't make it. That was
Very interesting choice of words, and I like it.
To be fair, if I have a cop coming up to me and telling me they didn't make it, I know what
they
it's
mean.
about.
But also, like, I feel like we use those words
Yeah.
to see what he would say.
Maybe. They also, didn't. I don't know.
Anyway.
So, Chris, now widowed, lost both of his sons. What do you think he did?
Crying?
He sat on the curb and sobbed. He didn't ask them what happened. He didn't ask how this person got in. He didn't try to force his way in to the house to see them or anything. Nothing. He literally just sat there. He then called his dad to come and be with him. And once Ron got there, he asked Chris if he should call anyone to let them know what's going on. And he said, yes, please call Tara Lentz. Don't forget, that is Sheri's childhood friend, and let her know what's going on.
Okay.
Here is also where I want to point out that no one contacted Sheri's family to let them know that their daughter and 2 grandkids had been murdered for 2 days. 2 motherfucking days, y'all.
2 days?
2 days after they were murdered. No one contacted them.
That is absolutely wild to me. Like,
could you imagine having to make that call?
It's probably because, like, somebody thought that Chris had called them, and so the officers or nobody else was making that phone call. But, like, I want to know how they figured out no one had told them yet.
I don't know. I have no idea. But, like, could you imagine having to make that call then? Just be like, hi, this is the county coroner. Your daughter has been murdered.
Who even notified them?
I don't actually know who notified them.
Chris would be next of kin.
Yeah, I can tell you it was not Chris that notified them. I'll tell you that right now. It was not him.
I wonder if they called.
Maybe.
Or if they saw something, or, dear God, I
That
hope
would
they
make
didn't see a
sense.
news report or something.
I don't know.
But yeah,
genuinely
that's
don't
just,
know.
that is insane to me. And, like, what a dick.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine just, like, living life normally to then be told, hey, your daughter's been dead for a few days.
And you had no idea.
Oh, and your grandkids, too. They were all brutally murdered.
That is...
See you later.
That's horrible.
Yeah. I could not imagine that.
Oh, my God.
I feel for her family on that. So, also, if you don't realize in situations like this, almost all emergency responders are going to come out. So, fire trucks, paramedics, all of them come out in these kind of situations. And any surviving members have to be checked on. So, Chris was actually on a gurney in the ambulance and was being looked over. Meanwhile, there were some onlookers on the scene, and one of them pulled the cops over and was like, hey, man, he has scratches on his arm. You should look into that.
Oh, my God, we love a nosy neighbor.
I love a nosy neighbor.
It was only better if they were, like, vacuuming or mopping the yard or the street. Like, that's...
I feel like, just based off what I know about this neighborhood, they were just standing at that crime scene line, just like... I mean...
Normalize this. Normalize not having to have an excuse to be outside and watch the police happenings, because technically you're allowed to watch. They can't tell you no. As long as you're behind the tape, you can stand around and do whatever you want.
It's true.
They can be verbally abusive and they can get mad and they can tell you to go away, but, like, as long as you're not crossing the crime scene tape, you can hang out.
Do like what you did for the Landry family. Brian Laundry? Whatever his fucking name is.
Oh, man. We love those people.
Oh my God. I loved it.
Loved it.
So, the police chaplain was actually in the ambulance with him. And since the media was already coming and swarming, so they had him in there. And he asked him, hey, man, where did those red marks come from? And this is when Chris decided to start banging his fist on the gurney, like just like smacking it over and over, so he could later try to claim that the scratches came from that. And I really wish I was making this up.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. So they take him to the station to talk to him. He tells them how he woke up at 5:30 and got ready to go to the gym. He said he tried to call and text her while he was working out so she could start waking up and getting ready for the day. He did it multiple times, but she was just not answering him. So around 6, when he tried yet again and she didn't answer, that's when he started to get worried. Then he told officers that he was cold and that he needed a blanket. So they brought him one, and while they were... Okay, y'all. While they were out of the room, he just kind of sat there like this. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm doing the Tom Brady after he was defeated after the Super Bowl pose. And like, fake cry. I'm sorry.
It's accurate, though.
It was pretty accurate. I'm sitting on this couch weird. So then they asked him about May 4th, the day before, and if anything happened to seem off. He said he was home from work because he had some errands to run, whatever. He picked up the kids from school. He played he played catch with Garett. I was combining those words. And then was just waiting on Sheri to get home. She got off work at 4, and then she actually made dinner. Those were his words.
Actually made dinner.
She actually made dinner. Pasta,
Gross.
Pasta and chicken. And she cut up some kind of pizza, and then she mixed it all together.
She mixed pizza in with the pasta?
Dude, I would try it, but that seems like a total stoner thing to do.
No, we're not even close. Like,
oh,
you would have to blast it out your... Like, whoa.
Right, yeah. I'm weird. Have you never tried pasta on your pizza slice?
That's fine, but cutting up pizza and mixing it into your pasta...
Why is that different? Why is that any different? It's the same thing.
That's just weird.
It's
like cutting up your breadstick at Olive Garden and throwing it into your Alfredo.
That's not weird to me. Why wouldn't you do that?
It's just weird. Not in the history
We'll
of
have a
ever
debate
has that
about
ever
this
been.
later.
If any of you guys have ever ate that for dinner, I will stand corrected and say that I'm the weird one.
Or try it and let us know how it is. Also, I don't remember what I had for dinner yesterday, the day before. What did I have? Pizza?
I had tortellini and garlic nuts.
I literally told you I was having pizza last night. See, I can't.
Yeah.
Hello? He knows very in depth. Anyway, so after dinner, they all walked to the snow cone stand. Then Chris played catch with Gavin. He went to the gym, and then he came back and helped put the kids to bed. While Sheri put steroid cream on Gavin's poison ivy, Chris listened to Garett's prayers. Then he says he and Sheri watched Batman Returns, and she fell asleep in his arms on the couch.
But that doesn't mean he loves her.
They don't love each other. How dare you? So Detective Barlow asked Chris about the scratches and the red marks on his arm. Quote, I think it was when I was the gurney in the ambulance. I was hitting the pillow, end quote.
I was hitting the pillow. What a scratchy pillow.
Whatever. They came back with the blanket. Also, I forgot to put this earlier. I don't know why. So they did come back with a blanket, and he didn't wrap it around himself or anything. He just kind of used it to cover up his one arm with the scratches.
Oh, not even like both arms? Like, I'm just going to like hold this on the front of me?
No.
Like, let's just cover one arm.
Yeah. I have a video of this. I'm just going to play it as I was telling you this. There can be. I'm just not going to be. It's just covering up his freaking arm. So He then decided to tell them about the security surveillance company he started. It's called Executive Innovations. But he doesn't mention his own security camera, which might have recorded an intruder, until the detectives prompted him to. I want to point out also that Chris never asked about any of the security footage from his neighbor to see if the killer or intruder was caught on film or not. They did already check this out, and we will touch on this again soon, just not right this second.
He doesn't seem very concerned about what happened.
No. He's more concerned about his fucking arm. They then asked about finances and if there was any debt problems, anything like that. Chris said, quote, "I make over $100,000 a year. She doesn't have to work, but she enjoys it, so I let her work." End quote.
I let her work?
So I let her work.
Ugh.
Yuck. I fucking hate men.
She actually made dinner, and he lets her work.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But you know what he didn't mention during all of this? How they're severely in debt. But he did mention a trip they were planning to take to Disneyland.
We're severely in debt, but we're going to go to Disneyland.
Yeah. So he tells him about the trip to Disneyland that they're planning on having later in the year. But he doesn't tell him that he actually canceled it and booked a trip to the Virgin Islands instead. They asked if they were happened to be having any marital problems, and he said no. He just said he had a close friend that was a woman.
Oh.
Just a friend.
Sheri was already a little suspicious.
Mm-hmm. It was someone that his wife introduced him to back in November of 2008. She lives in Florida and is a bartender, and her name is Tara Lentz.
Bestie?
Mm-hmm. You heard that right.
Sheri's bestie?
Sheri's childhood friend, Tara Lentz. But again, her and Chris are just friends. No biggie.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chris, they already fucking knew about her brother. They already had officers talking to her in Florida. She's already telling them about...
By the time he told them about her?
Uh-huh.
They had already tracked her down and figured this out?
Uh-huh. I'll explain how that happened soon. But she's telling them about your fucking affair and showing them all of the text and pictures and videos and the sex tape that you guys made.
I do remember the sex
Fucking
tape.
Sicko. Tara explained that they had started seeing each other, it was either late November of 2008 or early December of 2008.
Okay.
I'm also saying that sarcastically. I'm sorry if that did not come across. Please keep these dates in mind if you haven't pieced together things in your cabases. Okay? I'll touch back on it soon. She told them that they would meet up when he would be out traveling for work. So Arizona, they took a trip to Hawaii. Yeah, that's also where they had their sex tapes, sick asses. She also told them, Chris, that y'all brought promise rings for each other.
Are we 12?
Mm-hmm. And we're planning on getting married the following year in 2010 after your divorce from Sheri.
That you hadn't even initiated?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you told her that you were getting divorced and serving her the divorce papers, serving Sheri the divorce papers on the day she was murdered.
Well, that's a switch up.
A coincidence?
I think not. I think not.
She snitched so hard on his motherfucking ass.
So fast.
Uh-huh. It deserves the smallest golf clap. I know that's not a golf clap, I'll give you.
No.
That's a golf clap. But that's it.
I think that might be the only half a sliver of friend that she was to Sheri. Because, like, your whole... You can no longer call yourself a childhood friend. Mm-hmm. When you're having an affair.
You're fucking your friend's husband.
No, we're not doing this.
You fucking nasty ass. She did also say that she called and posed as Sheri to cancel that Disney trip. And that the cruise that was... Yeah, it was supposed to be for her and Chris. You know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fucking nasty ass, you dumb bitch.
Okay.
That's not a ride or die.
No, that's not.
Not a ride or die.
Not a ride or die. Not a childhood best friend either. Dear God.
Maybe I really should stop doing cases where they're always fucking the friend. This has been too many already.
There has been too many for you.
When you stop doing poisoning cases, I'll stop doing this.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So the cops are basically like, Chris, we know they were dead before you left this morning. We know you had something to do with this. Like, come on, brother. But he stuck to his guns, and he said, no, I didn't do it. He said they were all still alive when he went to the gym, and Detective Barlow straight up looked at him and said, quote, I've done this a long time. I'm looking into your eyes, and I can tell you're not being truthful, Chris. We need answers, end quote.
Way to go, Detective Barlow. I like him a lot. He is so very, like, all over this.
Same. So here's just like a little back and forth of what they said. Quote, what would you say if I told you I don't think she was alive? End quote. Chris said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I think she was. She was. She was laying right beside me. End quote.
Well, what was it? Was she? Or do you think she was?
I think
Those are
she was.
How do you think someone's alive?
How do you think someone you're laying next to in bed is alive? I'm also that weirdo that if I'm laying next to someone and I have any question, I do it with my cats too. I stare at them and make sure I can see them breathing.
I will put my hand under your nose, okay? I will be that creeper.
So, one of the detectives also kept leaving his notepad in the room, and when they would get up and leave, he didn't mean to like leave it on purpose, but then he later did. Chris kept getting up, like he was like restless and just like kept stretching, blah blah blah, and he would go and read the notepad and the notes. I really wish I knew what was in those notepads and like what they were feeding him.
Yeah, because I mean, like after you realize that he's doing it, you're just gonna start feeding him some random ass shit.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing I'm not a detective. So after 6 hours of this, they have no physical evidence to hold him, unfortunately. So they had to let Chris go.
I mean, we're still processing a crime scene, getting the bodies out. It takes long for DNA to come back. His DNA is all over the house anyway because he lives there.
Yeah.
So, like, we have to, like, find foreign DNA, and his timeline checks out for everything that was going on, and we don't have, like, an exact time of death yet.
Nope,
we will soon.
We have none of that yet.
But, I mean, I understand why they had to let him go because they don't... There's nothing.
Yeah. A funeral for Sheri, Gavin, and Garett was held on May 9th at Evergreen Cemetery in Chester, Illinois. This is also where Chris's parents lived. And 2 days after that funeral, Sheri's family had the bodies brought to her hometown to do a viewing service with her family and friends. Chris did not attend this service. However, here is a photo of his parents consoling him as he stood by their caskets before they were buried in Evergreen Cemetery. The video, he doesn't wipe a single fucking tear. No tears up in those eyes. That does not look like a very...
Grieving father and husband.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Within a few days of the murders, a gorgeous memorial of Mother's Day balloons and signed footballs, all of this was put into the front yard of their house. Mm-hmm. The boys loved Legos, so Brandon, Garett's friend who he was supposed to spend the night with, made a little Lego lady and said, quote, now you're in heaven with your mommy, end quote. Mm-hmm. Chris completely dismantled it and threw it away.
What a bitch!
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He also had a copious amount of boxes with all of his wife and son's belongings completely moved out and thrown away as well. This, again, doesn't seem like the actions of a man who just lost his entire family and was just crying at their graves. But hey.
No.
What do I know?
By no means.
Also, okay, so my next line, I mentioned the day, May 19th. They died on May 5th. So all of this stuff he did within 2 weeks of them being murdered.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, probably even less.
There's parents who, like, haven't touched their kids' rooms after 10 years.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. So Chris is living his widowed sink life. If you don't know what sink means, is
Single income, no kids.
yep. And then you can be a dink if you're a double income.
Dual income, no kids.
My husband and I are dinks.
You are dinks.
I'll just spoil Nikki. It's
There
fine.
you go. Thank you.
I do. I gave her a cute Valentine.
She did.
So he's living his best widowed life, whatever.
Blech.
And all of that came crashing down
Good.
on May 19th, 14 days after the murder of Sheri, Garett, and Gavin. Chris was arrested and charged with 3 counts of murder.
I am so shocked.
Me
I
too.
cannot believe this. I
Yes.
did not see it coming.
Did we have any idea that he could do this to his family that
I-
he loves so dearly?
I had none whatsoever.
How ungodly of him.
How could he?
You guys are going to be really mad at me. We're cutting this into 2 parts. I know.
It's
Try-
so worth it, though. It is
It
so
is.
incredibly worth it. If you're at the live, you already know.
Yeah, but trust me, like she said, it's worth it. And also, we want to keep you guys engaged. Our first recording, or like the recording of the whole thing, is
Over 2 hours.
over 2 hours long. And we don't want to put out an episode that's just going to lose you guys halfway through. So, you're going to stop here because this is considered halfway.
It's great. You're going to stop right here. You're not going to Google. You're not going to research. You're going to wait a whole week. Go back and listen to other episodes. Go search our social medias. Go on YouTube, watch our shorts. And then you can come back and finish this.
Then come back next week and find out what happened, which is going to be awesome. So, thank you guys for sticking with us. We hope to see you next week. We will.
We will see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Yes.
So you guys can hear the finale of this and see what happens, and see what happened to Sheri, Garett, and Gavin. And we will catch you next week. No, we have to follow our socials, please.
I already said that.
I know. Do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
Go ahead.
threatening you
Do it
twice
so you
during
don't
this.
miss the drop for part 2. And I can't wait to continue this with you guys.
Yes. So we will catch you guys next week for part 2. Okay. Love you.
Bye.